It's a bright Sunday morning. Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. For more on the elections, we're now joined by Arise correspondent Charles Ohuakwu to give us updates from Imo State. Charles, as I call you, oh Charlie, good morning and good to see you here, Charlie. So Charlie, tell us, what's happening in Imo State? What's the latest? We know that we've seen you work through the course of the night. You must be exhausted because you stayed up all night tracking and monitoring the results. So what's the latest from Imo State?
Good morning, Kayode and Aaron. Yes, it's been one sustained period of, one intense period of activity regarding these elections that started yesterday morning here in Imo State. Right now, we are at the state headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission in Owerri, the state capital, and we just concluded the first part of, or rather, the commission just concluded the first part of the collation process, collection of results from the 27 local government areas of Imo State. The process started at 2 a.m. earlier this morning, and they just concluded a few minutes ago, and the collation officer, Professor Sunday Abayomi Fashina, who is the Vice Chancellor of Federal University Oye Ekiti, now called for a recess, about 1.5 hour recess, to reconvene at 9:30 for them to be able to tally things together and then go into the more critical aspect of the collation process, and then begin to wind down this process towards announcing the eventual winner, the final outcome that everybody expects. It's been one interesting night spent here watching events unfold. It started out with at the moment the collation process was starting, complaints were raised by the party agents of the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party. They started out immediately with their protestations about certain things, their complaints about certain things that they felt happened, that shouldn't have happened, that hindered the process, that impinged on the integrity of the process. All contained in protest they brandished here. They wanted the collation officer to start out on that note. They wanted him to admit that, address that. You have spent a couple of minutes addressing that before going into the collation process. But that didn't quite rub off well with the collation officer. He decided to put his foot down. It became a very, very strong interaction, back and forth with them. Eventually, everything descended into a period of civil disobedience. The two party agents of the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party decided to constitute, well, I wouldn't say a nuisance, that would be a nice word to say, but they decided to make their presence felt, make their voices felt, protesting at every point in time, making sure, speaking directly to members of the media here, and trying to underline the fact that they needed to be heard, especially the
Charles. What we heard and what some people are sharing on social media is the fact that there was practically a fisticuff. There was a fight that led to a situation where both of them were asked to go out. Is that true? Is that what you witnessed?
Right. I didn't quite get you.
I am saying that.
Can you tell that one more time?
Okay, I'll come. What I'm saying is that the trouble between Labour Party agents at the collation center and the PDP and other people, it was said to have resulted in a fisticuff. They had a fight, and it was a free-for-all fight. Please let us understand, how did that end?
Exactly, that was where I was going. When it became clear to everyone that that situation couldn't be managed again. From the high table behind me, some other people decided to take the law into their hands and physically dragged the two protesting party agents out of the hall. It wasn't a pleasant sight to behold, but it happened, and that's one of the realities, of the process we've been monitoring, ever since yesterday. Emotions were running high, and the chief collation officer, Professor Fashioner, wouldn't be moved. He categorically stated that admitting petitions or complaints wasn't part of the brief he was given, and all of that. At a point, the two men involved decided to take their protestations to the national commissioners, who are also part of the high table and all of that. So it ended. That was how it ended. It ended quite untidily. But at the end of the day, the process, when they were taken out of the hall, the process continued, and the expiration of it happened not quite so long ago. And before this latest break was called to reconvene at 9:30 for the second part of it. Back to you.
All right, Charles, we've actually heard about this particular incident, chaotic, they say, in Imo State, but collations are going on as it is right now. Are they going to be addressing those issues that were raised by the party agents of the People's Democratic Party and also the Labour Party? Because we know that both candidates from the governorship election actually held press conferences, almost disparaging the elections and also criticizing the way the elections were conducted. Will INEC be addressing these issues, or are they going to be saying, go to court?
Well, obviously, that seems to be the tendency of the INEC officials here. They were being told, they were told in plain language that this is not the platform, this is not the forum, for admitting whatever it is they have in terms of complaints and all of that. They were told to register those complaints with the National Electoral Commissioner. This is just a collation process which is independent. We shouldn't be interrupted, according to the collation officer himself. So they were told to go direct to INEC and register whatever complaints they have. I don't know, possibly now that the situation has been managed the way it's been managed, that is the direction they're going. That's so they're practically telling them to go to court if we are going to use, that term, at this point in time. So that's where we are at this point in time. Back to you, Aaron.
Fantastic. What I must actually say, Charles Ohuakwu, you've actually burnt the midnight candle, as they say, and kudos to that. You said 9:30. We'll still keep tabs with all that is going on at the Owerri Collation Center in Imo State.